Okay, now we are going to make some fantastic teriyaki salmon. And one of my pet peeves is using bottled sauces and bottled salad dressings when you can make them at home, and it's so easy. There's no garbage in it. You know exactly what's going inside of it, and the flavor is better. It's better for your health, and it's so easy to do, and it's a lot less expensive. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make a real simple teriyaki sauce. And I have my little food processor here. And I have a combination of a 1/4 cup soy sauce and 3/4 cup just regular water. So I'm going to pour that in. Okay, and then I'm going to put in about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of fresh peeled ginger, and I've cut it up into little cubes so it'll process better. And you can use more or less. I really like ginger. So I'm going to put that in the food processor. Here I have some garlic cloves. They're peeled, and I've got 4 in here, but you can once again adjust it to your particular taste. And I'm going to process this just to get all of that all ground up. And you want to process this pretty well so you don't have any big, huge chunks of ginger, which isn't such a bad thing, but okay. So once we have that all ground up, I'm going to take this. Ooh, that smells so good. And we are going to put this mixture into just a regular small saucepan. And I'm going to put in about 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. And I'm going to also put in about, let's say 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of honey. Now on this, I am using a habanero honey because I have it on hand and I like a little heat behind it. If you want, you can just use regular honey, or if you want that heat and you can't find the habanero honey, you can put a very small amount of habanero pepper in when you whir up your ginger and your garlic. Just put that in there. And the next thing we need to do is put this on the stove so that we can get that all dissolved. So we're going to get that over here. And we're going to put that on a low heat because, and you have to watch this because you don't want it to boil over, which is a giant mess. If you've ever boiled sugar on the stove, you will know that it is not fun to clean up. And anybody who knows me for any length of time knows that I do not like messes. So just turn that on low and just keep an eye on it, just stir it. And all of that is going to dissolve. So over here, I have a really nice piece of salmon. This is a center cut salmon fillet. You know, you can certainly use the other kind of salmon that has the bones in it, but I don't want to mess with that. And we've been really happy with this salmon. We just get it at HEB. You can, choose whatever cut of salmon you like. And also this makes a considerable amount of sauce, so there's going to be more sauce than there is fish for this. But it's nice because you can pass the sauce when you serve it if anybody wants any more. I do want to mention this sauce translates beautifully if you have a steak or chicken. You can use that. I wouldn't recommend, if you're grilling your steak, to put the teriyaki sauce on the steak and then putting it on the grill because all of that sugar is going to burn. So in that case, in the instance of grilling any chicken or beef, you're going to want to put that in after it's cooked. So I'm going to go over here and check it once again. Give it a quick stir. get a longer spoon so I don't burn myself. Much better. It's really smelling nice. As I said, you can put as much ginger or as little as you like, but please use fresh. Don't use the powdered ginger. Don't use the garlic powder, because you just really lose a lot of wonderful flavor, and it'll impress your friends and your family too. So, once that is starting to cook a little bit, I have this turned up a bit. And you're going to want to bring this to a simmer, not a rolling full boil, because as I said, it'll boil over and then you've got a gigantic, huge mess and you'll be hating life. So this is coming together beautifully. Yeah, I was at the grocery store the other day and I was looking at teriyaki sauces, and I couldn't even pronounce half of the ingredients that was in there. And I thought, well, you know, I could do this. And I was talking with some friends of mine and I was thinking, well, maybe instead of water I could use pineapple juice, or I could use orange juice. You could certainly do that. You might want to adjust the sugar content on if you use one of the fruit juices, because it might be a little too sweet. Okay, so this is just about ready to boil. It's just starting to simmer and everything is mixed up beautifully. And as I said, please keep an eye on this. Okay, so once you're getting some movement in the pan, you're going to take 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 1/4 cup of just regular water. And you're going to add this in, stirring constantly while you do it. And you're going to bring this back up to a boil. And this is going to serve to thicken this sauce. And if you find that it's too thick, you can add a little bit more water. But as you can see, it's starting to thicken up very nicely. But once again, you do not want to walk away from this. See, isn't that beautiful? Okay, so when you've got it to where it's as thick as you like, go ahead and turn this off and just move that over to the side. I'm going to actually move it over here where we have our salmon. Okay. So I have the oven preheated to 420 as we had used when we cooked our shishito peppers. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a spoon and I'm going to spoon this sauce right on top of the salmon. Oh, that smells so nice. And another thing that's really nice about this sauce is that it really seals in the moisture on your salmon. So it's going to be so nice. One thing I also want to mention is that I am using a non-stick pan. This is a ScanPan CS Plus. That's a little plug. I do not get any endorsements for them, but I do like the ScanPan because you can use metal utensils. You can put it in the dishwasher. It's good in the oven up till a very high heat. And so there you have it. So that's all glazed, and I'm going to put that in the oven for about 22 minutes. Okay, so 420, 22 minutes. Okay, so that's going to be doing its thing, and we'll be right back. Okay, while we're waiting for the salmon to cook, I just wanted to point out I'm going to serve it with rice, and I am using basmati rice, and it's usually a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 waters to 1 cup rice, and I have a rice cooker. And if you don't have a rice cooker, I strongly suggest you get one because they are wonderful appliances, and the rice comes out perfectly, and it's well worth the investment. So as you can see, the rice is just so nice and fluffy, and rice is one of those things that I think a lot of times people think of as an afterthought, and they just get any old rice, but you know, it's such an incredible part and an important part of so many of the world's population. So you know, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it well. And it's a little bit more expensive, but you're worth it. I just wanted to point that out. Also, while you're watching our videos, I wanted to point out that you can stop them and pause them and get caught up anytime as you're making these dishes. So I just wanted to let you know. Okay, so I have pulled this out of the oven, and I want to mention to you that 22 minutes was an approximation of time. Okay, every oven is going to be a little different. So I've gone ahead and plated the salmon on the rice, and I've spooned a little extra teriyaki sauce on there. And there you have a beautiful salmon teriyaki. There is no artificial anything in this dish, and it's something that you'll be feeling good about eating and feeling good about serving. So thank you for watching.